Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Bear here from the Scryguys, and today we're going to be doing another Duskmorn commander for you guys. We're going to be doing the Jolly Balloon Man, who I'm pretty sure is inspired by Pennywise, right? But yeah, really looking at this guy, it's a very toolboxy type of commander. You're going to want to be able to try to get as much advantage from him as possible because he's a 3 mana 1 in Boros legendary creature human clown. Haste, pay 1, create a token that's a copy of another creature you control, except it's a 1/1 red balloon creature in addition to its other types or to its other colors and types, and it has flying haste. Sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. Activate only as a sorcery. That portion kind of bums me out. But it's probably to stop any kind of shenanigans. And so today we're gonna be doing a $150 build. Let's get into it. Let's get to what I love the most is drawing some cards. So yeah, we're gonna be doing cards like Helpful Hunter, which is coming out in Foundations, I believe, Spirited Companion, Inspiring Overseer, Wall of Omens, and a couple more other cards that are in there. But that's just here for an example. We have Enduring Innocence, which is great because this one just cares about the power instead of the mana value. We do have the Tokasia's Welcome in here as well to draw some more cards because these creatures do come down. Their power is 1/1, and then they also come down as usually just as a token. If you're missing out, it's a new one from Duskmorn. Pretty good. Lets you I believe Rummage is what it's called. I always forget Rummage and Looting, but yeah, it lets you draw a card, and then it gives you the ability to get another. With the Delirium ability, it lets you untap another creature. Hope, and most likely it's going to be our commander to copy another creature again, and just get a second version, a second trigger, whatever you need from that creature. So that's pretty cool. But I probably won't be swinging out. Oh no, actually no, I will be swinging out with it because I will be swinging out with the 1/1 version of it. Big brain. But yeah, we're also gonna try to take advantage of the cards that we're gonna be getting from, or we're also gonna be trying to take advantage of the tokens that we'll be getting from our commander and being able to draw some cards. So we're gonna be putting cards like Caretaker's Talent in there, which lets us draw cards, which also for 1 mana will let us create a token, a copy of a token, and then towards the end we'll give all of our creature tokens +2/+2. Nayali, Sons of Vanguard is pretty good in here too. The only reservation I have of it is that if this disappears, then all the cards that we exiled with it disappear with it as well. Like I said, Takasi is welcome in here as well. Lets us draw some more cards from all the tokens that we're going to be making. And then Determined Iteration, Anointed Procession is like a $40-$50 card, and some people that's just not within their budget. So Determined Iteration is pretty cool because it lets us populate and swing out with that creature, thus giving us 2 more triggers. And I like that it says sacrifice at the end, so because some of the cards that we have in here have death triggers on them, and so that's also really sweet as well. But let's go to our other section. This is a toolbox commander, so let's look at our tools of the trade. We're going to be playing some creatures that give us more treasures to ramp up a little bit. Professional Facebreaker is probably going to be the best one out of the bunch, because if we're able to create 1 to 2 more copies of it on our turn and have the ability to swing out with it, then it's going to trigger 3 times for each opponent that we hit, thus giving us 9 treasures total. And then also with the fact that you can go ahead and get some impulse draw from it as well, it's pretty strong for me. And so I think, yeah, it's like the best card out of, as far as like getting us ahead of our opponents in terms of ramping, right? We have some cheap tutors in here with Moonblast Cleric, which is going to give us an enchantment, then put it onto the top of the library, or Hoarding Dragon, which is going to give us one of our key artifact pieces, right? And this one's really cool because this one says when it dies, you put it into your hand. So if it dies either during combat or even at our end step, we get the artifact that we tutored for into our hand instead of having it stay in exile, right? We also gonna try to double our triggers. Illusionist Bracers will give us a second copy of our commander's trigger. Downey is really cool because this one's gonna, it's gonna give all of our creatures like Skulk, I believe it's called. I always forget what that ability is called. And it also just double up as a panharmonicon for our weenies, which because of our commander, all of our creatures are going to come down as 1/1s, which will then give us a double trigger. Eartha Joe from Thunder Junction is cool. It just works as another illusionist bracers into the in our deck, and then panharmonicon obviously. But yeah, no, here's some, again, like, we gotta have ways to sort of whittle our opponents down. So we're gonna have things that are gonna trigger when creatures enter the battlefield. Impact Tremors is a classic one. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, it'll do 1 damage. But I like Molten Gatekeeper a little bit more, just because you can make a copy of it, and if you make 1 to 2 copies every turn, you're doling out 2 to 3 for every creature that's coming in. That's great. And one, you can tutor it with the dragon, or you can go ahead and unearth it if you just need it for 1 turn. But the one that's going to hopefully win us the game and be super explosive is going to be Fanatic of Mogus, which deals damage equal to the devotion that you control. So the thing about that is, when you make tokens of another, like of an actual card, it actually retains like the mana cost. So that if you're able to make 2, 3, 4 copies of Fanatic of Mogus, each token is gonna add to the devotion of all of the spell add to the devotion for the damage for each copy that we're making. Boom, got it out there. But we're also going to want to go ahead and untap our commander as much as possible as well. So we have the Seal, which is nice because it doubles up as a mana rock and also as a Mage-Right Stone, which we have down here. And then we also have Marvis Murderous Mimic from Duskmourn, another new card. Not an untapper, but it gives us the ability to get a second tap, second token for the turn. So that's really cool. And I'm pretty sure I don't have any. I do have like 1 infinite combo, and you can definitely take it out and just add whatever you want. But I believe this combos off with Umbra Mantle somehow. I forgot. I was like looking at it, and you can definitely get into those loops with these 2 commanders especially. So but really, I wanted to build this deck because I wanted to annoy my opponents, right? One of the things that most Magic players hate is when you take their things, when you take their creatures. And the great thing about this, right, is when you take somebody's commander, make a token copy of it, the legend rule should still apply. Quote me if I'm wrong, but it should still apply. And so you make a copy of their commander. You can't have those 2 because they have the same name, and I believe it retains everything, right? Yeah, in addition to its colors, types, and it has flying haste. Yeah, so this should work. So the key piece to this whole situation is a coercive recruiter, because when it enters the battlefield, you take something, and then you go use the Jolly Balloon Man to make another copy. Now it's going to trigger twice because this triggers on ETB for it and each pirate that enters the battlefield. And then you just either keep taking those creatures, swinging out, or you're doing it because they're legendaries and you're just killing them. But we also have Active Treason versions. Active Treason obviously is like a pretty old card, and now it's a little more power crap, just because it needs to do a little bit more. So we have things like Vengeful Possession from Duskmourn, which will let us, again, rummage, I believe is the term, where we can go ahead and discard a card and draw a card. We have Furnace of Rains, where if that creature attacks, you can go ahead and get a treasure token from it. Traitorous Greed is when you're able to cast it, you get 2 mana back, so it's really just 2. And then Bloody Betrayal, which gives us a blood token as well. So yeah, we have other ways to do this, but if we get this out to the battlefield and we have something that's going to give us the ability to untap multiple times, that we can really just go ahead and run away with the game. And then here we're going to just look at some generally good cards to consider for the deck, and which all of these I have in there. We have things like the Overlord, the Red Overlord from the most common, from Duskmourn, Skyclave Apparition, because we're going to try to get rid of the One Rings and Smothering Ties, Karmic Guide to help us get more creatures back from the graveyard, Ardent Elementalist, which is going to get us our instant sorceries back from our graveyard to our hand. So for 4 mana, we get, we get two instance or sorceries back, and that's really great. And then if we have the ability to do that multiple times, then we can get either our active treasons cards, or we can go and get our protection or removal spells that we need from our graveyard. I do have also, I have Sun Titan and I have Inferno Titan. I like, Overlord is great because it just deals 4 damage, so it's 1 more damage than Inferno Titan. But I do like that Inferno Titan, you can split up the damage however you need it to be. It's only 3, but still, it's nice to be able to either just take out some problematic creatures or whatever. And then Trumpeting Carnosaur, 4 and 2 red dinosaur, and it's in here for the Discover 5, which is really cool because it doesn't say like when you cast this Discover 5, it just when it enters the battlefield Discover 5. And so if we're able to do this a couple times per turn, we could possibly fill up the board really quickly. So yeah, those are just like really fun cards to consider for the deck. Relatively cheap for the most part. I don't know how much this is gonna be upon release, but these other cards are like, I mean, Skyclave used to be a little bit more expensive, but now I think it's under $1. So yeah, and then but yeah, that's pretty much the deck. It's a very like I'm trying to outvalue you type of deck and get incremental damage through, and then maybe hit you a couple times. I know we have an enchantment in here that puts the initiative in here, and I think we have something that does the monarch as well. And then with our flyers, we should be able to get those things back. But if you have to combo, like this is the one I have in here. So village bell ringer, and then anything that taps, anything that's like a mana dork, which is gonna be great for here, and just it'll get you a infinite amount of village bell ringers. And then if you have anything like Molten Gatekeeper or Impact Tremors out, you're gonna be able to finish the game out that way if you need to. I put it in the deck, so to give you guys a way to just go ahead and just combo out if you needed to. But yeah, this deck looks fun. Can't wait to build it in real life when it finally releases. But yeah, I hope you guys like the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff. And again, we always appreciate you guys for watching. We appreciate you guys for commenting. We try to give back to every comment, obviously. Hopefully you guys just give us some time to reply to everything. So yeah, have a good one.